My husband, Mark, and I used Auto Renewal as a survival technique. Now, I can tell by the look on some of your faces, you wonder what I'm talking about, right? The 21 years that Mark lived with cancer, he had a lot of quality of life issues. So in order to give Mark the best quality of life possible, we pretty much stuck to the exact same routine. And we would renew that routine day after day after day. Now, if I shared with you what that routine was, I'm pretty sure there isn't a one person in this room who would think that our routine was normal. But you see, it was our normal. And we did it for 21 years. So when Mark died, I felt like a part of me died too. My better half. In the past 4 years, I've been trying to figure out what my new normal is now. And having to make a decision without having Mark to run it by, the half that was smart, the half that stayed calm in any kind of situation. This half doesn't stay calm in any situation. And so what I've been trying to figure out is what's next for me. So what I end up doing when I have to make a decision is I ask everyone I know their opinion. Can you imagine how confusing that's been? My son noticed that I was doing this, and he said to me, "Mom, opinions are like assholes. Everyone has one. Start trusting yourself, Mom." How do you like that? My son actually gave me advice. I think it might be the same advice I gave him in high school. But I decided to listen when I had to make a really big decision the end of last year. When I realized that the house that I had lived in for 30 years, the house that Mark and I basically raised our 2 sons in, had become too much for me. Home maintenance was stressing me out. So I decided to put my name on a wait list at an over 62 maintenance-free retirement community close to where I live now. Now, I picked this community because I like the country setting, a lot of bike and hiking paths. And I was ready to move in like that day. And they were like, "Marianne, it could take 5, 6, maybe 7 years until we give you a call." They said, "Go home, start your downsizing," which I knew was going to be emotional. Now, sometimes things happen quicker for me. Can you believe they called me 1 week after I put my name on that list? They offered me a brand new little villa. They said it would be done the end of September 2025. You can pick out the quartz countertop you want, the backsplash. It was like it was an answer, but it came too soon. I hadn't even told anybody I had done this. And then I went back to my old habit, and I asked everyone I knew their opinion. And so I said no. And I realized that I made a mistake. So when they called me back in January, I only asked 2 people their opinion, both of my sons, who don't live locally, and they thought this was a good decision for me. It's pretty funny. I did say yes, and I picked this community because of the country setting. It kind of looks like my new normal is going to stink. I didn't realize there was going to be an Amish farmer right across the street from me. I went walking there the other week. Yeah, my new normal is not going to smell too good. And the downsizing, it's been more emotional than I could have ever imagined. As I started cleaning out these little drawers in my bureau, in my bedroom, that I rarely ever open because I stuff pictures and cards in there. And Mark knew this. In the back of every single one of those drawers, Mark left me a note, dated the last week of his life. Mark knew someday that the house was going to be too much for me, and I was going to need encouragement. Mark left me notes of encouragement, and he gave me another story for tonight, because you see, the very last note I found said, "Dear Marianne, thank you for being my wife and my very best friend. With your constant love and support, you gave me a reason to fight so hard to survive. You were my better half. Love, Mark." Moving to a community by myself scares me, and the downsizing has been emotional, but those notes aren't part of my downsizing. They're coming with me because they have given me a sense of renewal to appreciate what Mark and I had. We were each other's better half, and we put those two halves together, and we made one awesome, beautiful whole. Thank you.